Hi, so today's session is on the outwards crescent kick. Now this is a kick we teach more at intermediate level, which is going to be purple, blue belt and above, normally for those students that are in their second to third year of training, because it's that little bit harder. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break the kick down and I'm going to show you a few little basic exercises at the beginning that all students can do, but it's going to be quite useful to new students to this kick, like white belts, yellow belts, orange belts, who will obviously learn this kick later on in their program. So start from the beginning. Let's get everyone doing the same thing. Very useful for beginners and useful for everybody to get their legs warmed up. Make sure you've done a warm-up. There's a warm-up at the start of this group of videos this week, and also look at the warm-up and workout section on our YouTube channel, and there'll be loads of additional ones to follow there. Give yourself a 5-minute warm-up first before you do this kick. From this position here, from our normal guard position, with a lot of the kicking, I do recommend shortening the stance that little bit more so it's just over a shoulder width wide. If it's hands or blocking, I do recommend a slightly longer stance. But for the moment, let's shorten our stance, try and get that weight on the back there. And from this position here, we're going to do an outwards crescent kick warm-up technique first. Now, I'm going to go straight on so you can see me. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to ask you to take a little sort of measurement from your belt, from your hips, forward. I'm going to ask you to go just slightly wider from here. What I'm going to ask you to do from here is I'm going to ask you to come across to the opposite side. So I've got my left leg at the moment going across to my right side. So I'm sort of almost turning my back a little bit to you here rather than this way first. So we're going to come across, and then once we come across, we're just going to turn, circle the knee out to the opposite side. Now what I see a lot of students doing, mainly due to lack of flexibility, is they come round, they start here, and they finish on the middle. So this is going to force you to take that leg wide here. That's the important bit. That's where all the power comes through the kick. This is a kick that's going to go right through the target. The target's in front, and the kick would be higher section, though we're going to start a little bit lower for lower grades, and it would kick across the side of the head here. But the kick can also come lower as well. It can be a sweep kick. I'll explain those as we go through the video. So from the hips, go a little bit wider, and we're going to do 5 of these to warm up. Try and keep your balance. The back foot isn't moving. Might just raise up slightly on the heel just to allow yourself to twist through that a little bit more if your flexibility is not there. We'll do 2 more of those. And 1 more. Good. So from there, that's a little warm-up exercise. Gets the hip not only working through the routine, but it also gets you to focus on getting that leg nice and wide. Let's go on the other side. So again, from the hips, nice and wide, just taking the hip through. Again from here, try and bring the leg back into guard position from there. So it's 1, 2, and round, 1, 2, and round. Let's just do a couple more of those. Good. So make sure you do at least 5 on each side. If your legs don't feel warmer, then let's warm up a little bit more. So to do it at a slightly more advanced warm up for this kick, you don't need the hands this time. So just remember what we did, we went from the hips a little bit wider. Imagine the hands are still there. And what you can do now in your own time is practice that circle. Now to get the power, high grade, as you're doing this warm up, speed up to here, and then see if you can pull that round a little bit faster, a little bit harder. Put it round, put it round. Okay, something a little bit more advanced for black belts to practice. Make sure you have done 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Basic rotations first before moving on with this kick, unless you happen to be super warm and you're quite flexible. Let's move on from this position now. What we're going to do this time is take that circular action and simply straighten the leg up into what looks like a front pushing kick. So what we're going to do from here is, as the leg comes up, it circles round, and then just before the centre, the leg will open up straight. I'll turn to the side so I can show you here. Okay, you can see how the leg has opened up right in the middle there. Now what a lot of students do as they're learning this kick is they keep the leg straight. Okay, so you're going to lose an awful lot of power and height if you don't use this bend first. So it's kind of like a front pushing kick with a circle instead. So it's a circling front pushing kick, if that makes it a little bit easier for you. So from here we're going to lift that leg up, we're going to circle through, and we're going to let that leg open up, as it starts to come through, it's going to open up fully, literally just before impact. If you can, keep the toes pointing up, a bit like a front pushing kick, but we are going to hit along that blade there, the side of the foot. Side of the foot could be swept, used as a sweep kick, take someone's leg away. Can be used in towards the body, okay? It's a slightly shorter kick for that one. That's just to show you, you don't need to do that one today. This one is higher section. It's obviously going to go up a little bit higher, but I'm going to see if you can get that kick, middle section. You may not be fully warm. In a class, you're a lot warmer. You have a target, it's easier to keep the kick a little bit lower. So, from guard position there, we're going to do an outwards crescent kick. Okay, if you want to start a little bit slower, no problem. Lift up, circle through, back down again, lift, circle, and round. High grades, you're more confident. Flick it through, up, flick, and back down again. So there we covered, very quickly, a basic warm-up exercise, a more advanced warm-up exercise. You can even do an extended warm-up exercise by just doing a slow kick and opening the leg up, slowing the kick down to about half speed, and then we've had a look at the kick, middle section, and circling through. So, outwards crescent kick, please make sure you practice in your own time, make sure you're warm, make sure you practice on the left and the right, check that guard position, start off nice and slow, build yourself up. Beginners, don't go flying into trying to do this kick straight off, you can risk of injury. Go back, I want you to just focus lower grades on these basic exercises for the moment. High grades, you know how to do this. Practice if you can 5, 10 on each side. Get this outwards crescent looking good. Thank you.